eventually it's just going to beat the shit out of you, and you're going to
Yes,
be forced to start following your rules. And if you don't, you'll never be profitable.
I have a very good understanding of my setup, so now I can start like branching out a little bit.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Gen Traders YouTube channel. As you can see, it's just me and Alex today. We are recording this on Sunday afternoon, December 5th. This episode is kind of going to act as our monthly recap for November. Alex posted a very, very good, I read the whole thing, recap in Profitly in the description below. So definitely go check that out. It is very insightful. Today, we're just going to talk about how the markets are, and they were way different than we thought they were going to be at this time, but to say the least. But yeah, we're going to get into the market, some trades, a brief monthly recap, as well as what we're ready to keep up for our process for the next week and beyond. So yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to talk about how the listed market's going really quick. Then Alex is going to get into the OTC market. So starting off right away, the listed market has, the best way to put it, it has been very choppy with no follow through. There's definitely gappers. Like some people say a market is hot just because there's a lot of gappers. There's a difference between stocks that gap and intraday follow through moves. So the intraday follow through just hasn't really been there. No super hot runners. I mean, the EV sector we thought was going to be hot. But Lucid kind of got crushed the past few days. But yeah, nothing really new, nothing like super like popping news catalyst to report or anything. So yeah, it's just a market of, sitting on your hands and waiting for your best. And, if there's not, it's perfectly fine to not trade. Like I didn't trade Wednesday or Friday. So yeah, that's about it for the listed market. So Alex is going to talk about OTCs now.
Yeah, so I'll say I'll talk about the last 2 weeks because we didn't do an episode last week, and then like overall. So it's pretty similar that as in listed. I can say that like we don't have that much. Probably I would say like even some days they were like literally zero. I like left before even the close because I do this very rarely because the power hour is always like I always sit and like watch in case there's something. But the last like 2 days I just left before even the close because there was literally nothing. So yeah, but still like there were like 1, 2 maybe like A setups, not even A plus. The overall, so in October, in my profit recap October, I remember my last sentence was in December, in November, the market should start heating up, and I know for a fact I'm ready. So I was ready, but didn't at all. That's not even a tiny bit close to what I expected. But the good thing is that we all, in Lance, like we knew we thought it's gonna be hard, and we were like ready to maybe push harder, but we didn't. So we reacted to the market. So yeah, that's which is in December, even as we're like 3 days in, still very slow. So I have no expectations, anything. I just react every day.
That's it. That's all you can do. Yeah, nothing really new to report. So Alex is going to follow right up into how his week is going and his trades, and then his recap after. So
okay, so I'll share my screen right now. So this was my first trade of the last week. Oh yeah, also so last week was short week because it's Thanksgiving, and Friday was half the day. So the day before that, so I traded this on, you see this first green day on 24. Yeah, traded this on this day, but before there were like 4 first green days. Let's see. This one here, see on 23rd, JPEGs, see the same thing here on 23rd, PUG, and I missed all of them because it's not really like my style because they were like pretty choppy and you see like a liquid. So the action wasn't clean at all. You have to look at like 5 minutes to be even 15 to see like the clean action. So I learned from that day and I adapted, and that's why I took this on the next day on 24th. So let me show you intraday. Yes, you see intraday is pretty choppy.
wow,
This was here.
Very Christmas themed.
So yeah, here. This morning trigger, then just don't even look at it because it's in hindsight it looks like a good entry, but I mean, nah, it's not a good entry for me because it's very choppy and it's not even without any like confirmation or anything. So the main reason why I was looking at it is this chart. 50-minute is way more cleaner. Here, So we see we have this like downtrend, then the break, like see in the morning. So the trigger was right here, like you cannot enter because it's basically you're entering at the lows without any confirmation. So I let this spike, and I think probably I missed this first entry. Yes, I missed this probably the first entry, and then yes. So I just let it settle itself, and then here in the midday it was pretty like clean. If I mean not clean, but I mean 5 minutes. Yeah, here they had this like base and the trigger 58, and you see like I entered before. I mean after the because I missed this, and that's like my new approach is when they spike like at my trigger and I miss it, then I can enter at the same price because basically I'm already in, and I already talked about it. So I entered here with the risk at 55, and then had a nice close. Let me still go on this because it's so a nice close, and then the next day literally panicked right away to like look from 67 to 58, and that was my risk. 58 was my risk because I was just like the trigger level, and it was the perfect risk. It held this like there were like a few million bidders there, like 2 million I think. So every time it touched it held. This was shit. This was a short day, so 12 p.m. was kind of a power hour. And then I was just saying like I'll just say it and sell into the close, but then like she would have this again same thing here in the last like 5 minutes, like last 50 minutes started to going, and then so here's a little thing here. I saw this sell was perfect here, like right at the high day, and then this I wanted to sell into the close, but then like that was I think 30 seconds left. Didn't want to hold because you see now that was a good decision to not hold. And then at some point, so that big bidder was still there. Like I think he was like 5 million or something, or 2 million. I don't remember. So he was at 67 probably. I think yes. And then 30 seconds left, it disappeared, and the bid was at 63. And I was like scared because I don't want to hold, so I'm just gonna sell at whatever the price. I don't want to risk, so I put 65 limit. I got executed, and right away it came back the 2 million, and then there was still like some prints at 68. So it was kind of unfortunate that I only sold third here, but anyways, it was a solid trade, and for this market, it was sold like almost 3 hour. So yeah, it was nice that I like adapted from the previous day, and then I took the first green day, reverse.
Love the patience as it held 0.0058 3 times. That's good.
Yeah, and I remember I said that if in any other market I would have just sold because it's like an opportunity cost. But I knew that
there's always something better.
But I knew that there was nothing else that day, specifically that day. So I'm just might as well hold because it's above my risk.
There was no opportunity cost.
Yeah, like literally, because that was Friday. You know, everyone was nobody was in the markets.
Yeah, because like it's watching paint dry everywhere else,
Yes.
So there's no opportunity cost
so I just
anywhere.
like might as well hold because I have like good entry and all that.
Might as well.
And
it worked out for you. So
this one is very quick. I'll just talk about it. This was this stock. I shared this a few times here and here. So
you love this stock. It's like your favorite.
That was probably one of the reasons why I entered here too early. So yeah, I was watching. So that was before like I was here for like this base on the 50-minute. It was pretty nice because it like broke this at this wedge, and then it consolidated here. Here like this looks very nice. So I entered right here because like you can see that I predicted instead of reacting, but in reality I
remember this.
Yes. I was very excited.
You were like, this could easily go to $5.
Yes. Yeah, I mean it touched $5 and then like that was the top. So I entered when the ask at 48 was broken, and then it was like at 45. And I remember many times when I missed fills on this stack because it just skipped the levels like really quickly. Like you don't even have a chance to enter. You have to just enter it before, like based on the level 2. But like probably my mistake was that I should have waited at least for some prints at 4 or 5. But I don't know, because I know this stack, you can just skip right away. So I entered here, it just had one print at 4.5 after my entry. And then I also wanted to sell somewhere here. Then I was like, let me just hold. You know, there was still also nothing. I mean, I was also in another trade, but still. And then I just hold into the close. So I see it was better if that I sold here rather than if I sold it before my risk, like lower. I sold it higher, just into the close. I didn't want to hold, and you see why.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then also, I'll say this is probably my best trade of the month, but it's nowhere near perfect setup. No. It isn't near, but it's just it was still A because I think all my trades this month was A setup, but it just wasn't A plus because of the overall market. So yeah, so it formed this nice like pattern here, but still, in the lows, almost every stock here is in the low. So you don't see like any ones like here. Maybe ILUS, the only one. So yeah, I was watching it. So this day when I had this first green day, and the 50-minute wasn't super clean. See, like it kind of like just no consolidation in the middle, just like up and then down and up again. But still, it was looking nice. So here again, I applied that thing again. See, I missed my entry here, and then I entered after on the dip. This is a very, very nice entry with the same risk. And then I also added here because the perfect add was here, and I again missed it. So same price, same level, just different just different time. But I just pretended that this arrow was here, because the price is the same. So that was 2,000 shares. That was 800 shares, and my risk was, so on this entry I was risking this level because this was let me see, because this was the multi-day breakout level, but 23 was like a better like actual level because you see the 5-minute is better. You see it. So this was this high, it broke it, then like a little broke it again, but then still held, and then this was a perfect hold, this here. So that's why it was like the better breakout level to like base your decisions off. And this was my risk on my ads, because I added small. That was like $8 risk on this ad because this was 22, because I didn't want to move my whole risk here until broke high day. So when it broke high day at 25, then I moved everything here. It was like $10 risk. And also, yeah, this was my first trade when I risked $30 actually. So that's also nice. Yeah. Then we got, so yeah, this play was ruined again by the man himself.
The man himself.
Yeah, so Tim Sykes, he bought it somewhere. I don't remember where. Probably here, because I think this push was before the alert. I'm not sure, but I sold because every time he buys, the pattern is ruined because I knew it's not gonna work. Though like it had less chances, so that's why I sold 2/3, no 1/3, as I usually do.
Smart.
Yeah, that was a 3 hour here, and then yeah. So this sell was, first of all, probably I should have sold everything here because of first of all the market. You see every stock I swing, or even just every stock you see overnight, it drops. So, but still, I wanted to give it a chance. But then, like, if I held third, then I should have risked like the best risk level, because this was the actual risk level. I have my sticky note that says on swing breakouts, risk the original risk level. But here, I just, the theme, the market, the overall pattern was just all like, it wasn't like clean, just like it's just tough to, this risk on overnight breakouts are tough. You just have to learn that through experience. So I sold here to the panic. Then it bounced perfectly off 20. Like this price was 23 this week, so perfectly at 23. And then it even broke more, but you see it never went to 30 because that was the risk, the multi-day breakout level. So I think if I was still in, I would have. No, I think if I had my third, I would just sell here into the weakness because that's only third. But if I had my whole position, I would have sold like 2/3 maybe here or half. So yeah, that was also almost 3. So yeah, that's not even 3 hour, but still good for this market. And that was on the last day of the November, so it was a perfect way to end the month with the $30 risk. So that was nice.
Yeah, you have a profitable strategy when a 3R
Yes.
3-to-1 risk reward is a average trade.
Yeah, I remember I said there was a nice trade to on a breakout that didn't break out.
Right. And if it did were breakout, we're talking
Yes.
7, 8, 9, 10. So
Yes. If you broke out, that was like if you went to 33, that's like 7 probably are, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
Crazy.
and I said that if Tim wasn't in, I would have probably sung everything. And I don't know if you would have had the same panic, but the pattern was saying to swing, like the pattern itself, but the other factors, yeah. So I was satisfied with my first, because this was like very important. If I sold 1/3 here and then 2/3 here, that would have been way worse. But here,
Yeah.
just I don't know, I just felt like it was a nice trade. And yes, that's it. And I also have just two trades I wanna not miss trades. So this was this like multi-day breakout. I mean, he doesn't look like a sold multi-day breakout here, but this chart is better. See here, like this 19 level.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I was watching it this day. I think one of my friends he got it in here too early, like I did on that LAACF. And this day was the move. Here, I don't have the notes for this, but it's like about 4 export. Also, if you enter here on this 19 trigger, right, like under the multi-day level, and then risking 185, and then it goes to like 22. So probably like, what is it? If you risk 5, it makes 3. What is it? 8? No.
6.
If you risk, oh yes, yes. So that's 6. But like we said, 6 perfect. So then the average is like 4. So yeah, that was nice. And this one is I don't know.
I don't like this ticker.
Me too. I remember. Like so that's the thing. Hari, he actually traded this, and I remember asking him about this and down somewhere here when the chart was much more cleaner, like right here at the 50-minute. Wait, let's go away. Yes, this was okay. Here, this looks like. Is it this one? Yes. This look like better for the breakout rather than when it goes down, then just in one day breaks out. Like, isn't this better than this? So anyways, let's go here. So I saw this right here. They released news. It's so funny. And I was the first one who alerted the news. That's 12:01. So right here they announced the news, 12:01. And then 10 minutes later that they only move. I don't know, I guess I had, because this entry is like perfect entry. I don't think anyone with like any good trader entered there, because it's just impossible. You have to just be in, I don't know, like stalking the stock here for no reason. Because like, I mean, yes, they had the first green day, the PR, but then why it's not moving? It's moving after 10 minutes, and then they release another PR. So it's, I don't know. So this was entry I wanted to get $1, but I was just, so that was the last day of November, and I was like, do I really want to like get this non-ideal trade when I have already like a nice end of the November? I was like, I'll just stay away and just ignore it, just avoid it, to just like be careful, be safe. It's better to just sit on your hands when you already have a profit than like try another trade. But obviously now you can see it worked out, but I still don't feel like sad about missing it. The risk reward, but I mean it's with this entry, this 27, it's not really realistic. Just put the numbers there. So this would be my trade. If I took it, I would enter at 1, risking 97. I think I would have sold everything because that would have been November. I would have just sold everything to like keep it in my November. But yeah.
Man, with $30 risk, that literally would be your entire account. Your entire account would be.
I mean, 27, yeah. Well, yeah, with the 27, if you enter there, I mean, literally $1 risk.
1% of a $3,000 account is $30. So.
Yes, so imagine that you can use $3,000 position, and then it goes
27R. Like what?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
30 times 27. No hindsight here.
600, more than 600, 700. I mean, remember Jonas had the trade, so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he was risking $40. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Yeah. Crazy.
So yeah, that were my last 2 weeks and the trades, and now I'll quickly go over my month. I can show the chart, right?
The what?
My chart, like the monthly P&L thing. Yes, here.
Yeah, you can. What do you mean?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, well, this is I said it, second best month in terms of this, but I don't look at this. I look at this. This right here
Yes.
is this.
Look at that.
This is the most important thing. That was my number one goal from October. Because let me actually show my October just to compare. I mean, October's was also not bad, but oh, it's actually almost the same. Well, this was like a 3 or 4 factor, and this was like 3. And I said my goal was for November. Yes, I said to get it to 4, 6, and now this is like what? This is like 7. Yeah, this is 7, and this is almost 9. So this is like perfect. I eliminated all random trades because you see this trade was a good trade. I think this was HYSR, so this was a nice setup. It's another nice setup. Though, like the only bad setup here was it wasn't even bad. The one that I showed you, LACF, it was just bad entry. That's all. Like other trades, they were all like solid setups. So yeah, I'm very proud that I only 10 trades, like even less than in October. I was like 14 trades there. So that's
So that's
very
freaking
important.
awesome.
Yeah, and the profit factor is also, I think this is profit factor. Yeah, it's like also 7. So this is nice, and this also, yeah, this is from TraderView. I mean, this is actually mine. I made in my spreadsheet, but anyways.
Oh,
Like
you made that?
Yeah.
Wow, look at you over here looking
Oh,
exactly like TraderView.
wait. This is mine. Yes, this is
Let's see
from
yours.
that one was from TraderView. This is from my spreadsheet.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's not hard to make. So I like to have this one also. You see, like this was my first trade, small, and then go there.
Yeah,
Like,
look
see,
at
this
that.
last trade was
Stair-stepping.
just perfect. And so the reason why I make this rather than TraderView, because TraderView would have counted this in 2 bars. Because remember, I sold 2/3 the first day and then the
Right.
second day. But I like this more because you see like each trade. It's like it doesn't matter if it's swing or not.
Right, of course.
And now I want to talk about one thing quickly. Let's delete this. Yes. So I know some traders, they say that they're like consistent, right? So for me, I've never ever mentioned the word consistent referring to myself, like never. Only I hear sometimes other people say, but even though I had like 3 green weeks, but that's basically based on one trade. You see here one. Oh, that's actually 4, yeah. And then like here 2 trades. So I have here what? And so even though I have 4 green weeks in a row and 4 green months in a row, that doesn't mean anything for me. I will allow myself to call me consistent only when I will actually have solid weeks and months consistently for a year, I would say, like a solid year. I don't want to call myself consistent just because of my trading on a certain like week or month, because it's gonna like it will give me ahead of myself and I'm in a rush, you know. I prefer
Right.
to take the slow and steady approach. For me, that's also important. For me, a consistently profitable trader isn't someone who like makes 500 or 5,000 a day, because you can be consistently profitable even if you make $10 a day, if you do it consistently every day. So for me, it's someone who can profit in the market consistently for a long period of time, and like it doesn't matter what the market is, like even in the slow market. Let's see, that's why I'm not calling myself consistently profitable, because my weeks or months are all made based on my like 1 to 3 trades. I mean, and even though that's like good for a slow market, but still like my goal is to take a good amount of trades, maybe more than I have right now, and be consistent with my performance week after week, like this, but like with more trades. Because if I, for example, took a 1 hour loss, that would be like $30 here. I mean, $15, and it's not, it wouldn't look good because it's just like based on one trade. You see here, yes, week after week and month after month. Yes, that's what I want.
I think that's very important that you say that you're just going to stay like, grounded with the same focus, because like you said, you don't want to get like ahead of yourself, but it also can add like a little bit of pressure. Like I say, I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it can add
Yes.
like a little bit of pressure to it. And see the fact that you like, if you have one trade a week right now in this slow market and say it's like an average of like a $60 gain, you know, you for your strategy would much rather do that than have, you know, $10 gains every day of the week.
Yes.
You'd rather have one $60 gain than like five, you know, $12 gains. So that's
Yeah.
maximizing your strategy. Even though you have not a ton of trades, you make the most of them when they come around.
It's like for me, it's like word, like the phrase "consistently profitable trader" is like a, you know, it's like an ultimate goal. So I know I'm for sure I'm not there yet, so I don't want to call myself that. And also one thing I want to say that this month consisted only of singles. Like not, I don't have any big trades like in October, because really my October was it was made for by two trades the whole October. This one, like every trade is a, I don't think I even have one trade that's like more than 3.5 hour. So like just taking like small approach and a quality over quantity. And yes, so I talk about my approach of buying. I said it like when because I wanted to include points and my lessons for the week. I mean, I included it all in my profit recap. So I said the first one is focus on the process and remove random trades. So that's what I made a change from October in my profits. My factors in profit factor and $% gain are all better. Quality over quantity, and know when to sell. I'll talk about it already, like the breakouts, all that. So my goal for the December is, first of all, I have zero expectations for November. Plus, I already sold the first 3 days, so I'm not gonna get excited. My only goal is to finish the year strong, because it's the last year. The month kind of crazy though, without any big mistakes. And yeah, I have another small goal, but you know, it doesn't really matter. But the small goal is to break my all-time highs, because it would be like kind of funny that I would end the year right where I started it. Literally was like the first month. I mean the second month, February. But obviously in terms of knowledge and experience account, me in February and right now it's like,
oh heck yeah,
like completely different people. So yeah, that would be like a nice little bonus, you know. But my main goal is to just finish it strong. Even if I make $100 in December, that would be better if like I would be ready. So it's better to just finish strong and be ready to attack 2022.
Of course.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was my spiel.
Love it. Amazing. I could tell you had some nice, good notes about that too.
Yes.
Very nice.
Prepared everything in the morning.
Very, very good. All right. Is that all you got?
Yes.
All right. So let's see here. I'm going to talk about how my week went first. As I said earlier, I didn't trade on Wednesday or Friday. I didn't trade Wednesday because I was gone away from the market all morning. I was at court for a stupid parking citation. I'll talk about Thursday in a bit, but yeah, I am feeling really good about the end of this week, even though I didn't trade. I've never felt so good not trading ever, because I've realized some things that I just wasn't allowing myself to see before that would keep helping, or not helping at all, for making me fall into, you know, habits that I've been trying to eliminate for so long and just have been coming back and coming back. So I'm going to actually do a super quick, like I'm going to speak about November really quick, and then I'm going to get over my trades, because the trades I want to go over are from Thursday and Friday. And so that's December. So I do want to talk about November first. November was pacing to be a -1R month, as October was, but I'd say November was my worst month in terms of quality of trades, trading too much, discipline of my trades, and it was also my worst month of P&L. It's, wow, all that follows. Terrible discipline and terrible trading leads to worse P&L. Wow, crazy. So, but the worst part is I went from -1R on the month to -6.5R on the month in 3 trading days. I let 3 trading days wipe out my entire month. And let's see. The difference from last weekend to this weekend of what I'm feeling and what I know that I need to see is just night and day, because every day I've been figuring out something new, something new. Like, why the heck am I doing this? Why the heck am I doing this? I'll say this: November, I made every single possible which way of making a mistake on not trading in a disciplined manner. Every single possibility of a mistake I could have made, I made it. And so there's absolutely no excuse for any of that anymore, and I know that because I made every which way the mistake. I was on a little Discord speech with Brian Lee last weekend,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah,
No.
I asked a question in chat and he answered it, and I was like, it was about like disciplinary avoidable mistakes, and Brian was just like, eventually it's just gonna beat the shit out of you, and you're gonna
Yes.
be forced to start following your rules, and if you don't, you'll never be profitable. And so I was like, that is my main focus going into December. I have two points that I am going from December by, and it is going to be completely amazing. One, if I trade like I did last month, I'll never be a profitable trader. It's not meant to scare me. It's not meant to diminish, any sort of self-confidence. It's a reality check
It's a fact.
that I needed to hear. It's a fact. It is the truth, and I needed to hear it, and I need to put that in my brain every day. So that's on the front page of my notes. Also, I'm going in with the mindset when I go to the market that I am there to observe price action and get screen time, and that is it. I tell myself I am not trading today. I am getting screen time and observing price action, and that's it. That completely removes all of the, like, my main problem for this whole month was I'd be completely fine with my rules and criteria, like up to a certain point, and then eventually, like before I get in the trade, just a veil would go in front of my eyes and completely, cloud all my judgment. And then right after, I would be like, why the hell did I do that? What have I been telling myself, every single day? And what have I been telling myself all morning? And it's like literally like a sheet was being pulled over my eyes. But now it's just, obviously I didn't trade Wednesday or Friday, but I think that's really good. And then Thursday was a red day, but it was a constructive red day. It was a good red day, and I haven't had a good red day in a long time. A lot of my red days last month were because of discipline and not trading well, but I had a good red day on Thursday. That being said, otherwise I completely moved on from November, and it was my worst month P&L wise. It was minus $77.77. So
Whoa, 77 cents.
7777. But yeah, just, and obviously my stats were terrible as well because my discipline was terrible. And now in the past few days, I realized what was making the judgment cloud over me and what was causing 70% of my losses. And after this month, I'll truly be able to see, like, okay, this is what I've got here, and this is what I can work on. So it's all about not doing any of those habits that I used to. And I know I've been saying that for a long time, but this time it really just, it beat the shit out of me. And it's like the harsh reality of I'll never be a profitable trader if I don't fix this. So I fixed that up completely, and I'm just ready to react for the next week. All that being said, I'm going to go over some trades from this
Okay,
past
wait, I
week.
have something to add.
Yes, go ahead.
What you said about Brian Lee, that he said like at some point you just think that's enough. And I
Yeah.
remember I was asking that to Kyle Williams in the summer in one of his webinars when I was like literally missing everything. I was like, so I know the pattern, I see everything, I know like how to play it, but like when it comes, I hesitate. And I said like, what do you recommend me to do? Because I know everything, everyone went through it. And he was like, at some point, you just miss them like so much. You just miss them like too much of them, and then you're like, okay, that's enough. Like how much like am I gonna miss them again? Like every time, every single trade. And I think like after like I think this month was like the month when I actually started to take my trades. That's like it's gonna come with time. Like you cannot just fix it right away. Just you have to just went through it all. And also I remember when you said like you said something about like after the trade you were like, how, like, why did I do it? And I think it's just because so you started in the summer, right? The actual trading.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I went through this like I think in the summer, and that's why now I take some of the good trades, and that's same thing with you. Like so it's like you're trading for 5 months. So yeah, in 2022 now, then it's gonna start to actually show the results. So still like at the pace we're going, it's way better than everyone there. So
right, yeah, I appreciate you for adding that, but that is very actually important. Like you said, what Kyle told you about like missing trades, it becomes enough is enough, and
yes,
like you can't stand to like have it happen anymore. And when it does, you're like, it comes to a point where you're like, I'm putting my freaking foot down and I am, not doing this anymore. And I think my main problem over the last couple of months of falling into a lot of mistakes was I was thinking I was thinking that I knew exactly what I needed to be seeing when in reality, I really didn't. I was trying to
yes.
make it sound like to myself that I really, really
Yeah,
knew. Like I
remember
really, really know.
the same thing was with me when I was saying like, I
Right.
know exactly what to do.
Right. I thought I was telling myself I knew exactly what to do, but when it came to the screens, like when it came time to perform, I didn't know. But and that's a real thing too. Not letting like your bias and judgment say like, oh, like I know exactly what I need to do when you don't. And it comes to a point like now, Alex has been in this stage for a while, but I just came to a point now where now I actually know what I need to see, not me just telling myself what I need to see. Very, very big difference. So yeah, I'm gonna go into some trades from this week. I'm gonna go over, see, as Wednesday I didn't trade. I'm going to go over BFRI from Thursday. One
It's funny how
second.
every trader goes through the same stages.
I mean it's predictable, but it happens, like
Okay, I'll go.
I think it's awesome. But yeah, I appreciate you for adding that. So let me look at the daily chart here on BFRI. As you can see, this was looking for the first Korean day on the 2nd, which was Thursday, obviously. Let's see here. So this was a very, very choppy price action. I started off with this trend line right here of the multi-day. Right here, it kind of held, broke in the morning, had this super big spike. And as you can see, doji candle, super, super choppy. I knew going into this trade that this was going to be a pop and drop. I knew that I was going to have to exit very fast. I knew that there was no like expecting a follow through, like a high day break or anything like that. So I drew my trend line right here. I waited for my basing to come up. I entered at, let me move our faces so I can see the price. I entered right here at 605. I was risking right here below VWAP at 585. And I knew this was going to be fast, but this spike and drop right here from 605 to 640, this spike and drop came here in literally like 2 seconds. So I had no time to cancel my stop loss, get my limit, move it up to the price, and get out. Like it was never going to happen. I knew I was going to have to be fast, but this was just too fast for me to possibly, do anything. And then as you can see, it stopped me out immediately, like within that minute. So I was prepared for this to be a fast trade, but it turned from it would have been, a winner to a loser, which is completely fine. I'm happy with this trade being red. And I know it sounds weird to say, I'm happy with it being red, but I followed my process. I knew what I needed to see. It was just way too quick for me to get out given the price action. And yeah, so this was a 1 hour loss in the morning. I came back in the afternoon and drew this trend line that it was holding all day. As you can see, it held it here, 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 and here. So and as the late day, I was expecting, it to come up here, sell up here in the 610, 620s as it, broke this little intraday resistance level. But as you can see, I entered right here at 585, was risking below this level at 576. So risk wasn't super wide, but I was using a small position because I haven't actually made an afternoon trade in a long time. But some traders like Bryce Tui, for example, he's been finding better success in the afternoons, and he's not the only one. So I do need to get back into afternoon. And with my college semester ending after finals week is this week coming up, but that Monday the 13th is when I'm done with college, and I'll be able to get all of the screen time that I need. And I'm so excited for that, man. I've never been so excited to just stare at my freaking computer all day while the market's open, working out during midday and the market's in the morning and the afternoon. So yeah, I can't wait to get back into that. Yeah, in the afternoon, as you can see, I entered here at 585, sold half my shares here at 598, set the other half in my original risk, or actually I set it right here below 580, set the other half for, like I said, the reclaim and run, but as you can see, it came down and stopped me out. I traded this right here as well as I possibly could have. There's really no other way I could have traded this better, given the price action I was seeing. So yeah, this was, obviously I ended negative on this stock, but it was less than 1 hour. This was a small scratch win.
Right.
This was a 1 hour
Nice.
loss. Yeah, what's up?
Can you zoom out to the second trade? I mean, second entry.
Zoom out.
No, zoom in closer. So,
You see?
what was your risk again?
For the second half,
No, first.
right here,
So on that, like,
576.
okay. So
I moved it up right here below this green
I'm just
candle
saying
right here
because
at 580.
like some people when you like because they see that your exit was at 2%, and they're like, oh, that's super scalpy, but it's based on the risk reward because your risk was like 1%, right? Or maybe
yeah, it was 1.3%, 1.37%.
yeah. So I mean, you didn't hit your goal because your goal was like 610, right? Something like that.
I don't set profit goals. I obviously react as you do, but it would have been up in here in like 615.
But that wasn't like your perfect exit though. Like you
no.
were more, yeah. So the risk reward would have been like 2 or 3, right? If it went,
it would have been about 3. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good because it's not based on percentage. That's what I want to say. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I also started doing because before I was like always, where's my risk level? I was like, oh, what's the percentage? But now I just don't care because even if the risk is 10%, but I know it's gonna go 20%, then it's like 30%, then it's still good. So same thing here. It's like smaller risk, but also, I mean, smaller reward, but also smaller risk. So the risk reward is the same.
Right. Yeah. And that's the amazing thing about R, because whatever your risk is, you're sized in for that position, whether it's a 5% risk or a 1% risk, you're sized in for that position. Like if you risk 1% and make 4%, it's 4-to-1 risk reward. And even though it's a small percentage, the gain is going to be the same as, say, it would with your same R, but a smaller position size for wider risk. So it all becomes like into that perspective and why R is so important. So yeah, definitely. And for the reason, I mean, yeah, I talked about that earlier. I'm not going to beat a dead horse.
The only like maybe betting for small traders is when your risk is too tight, you cannot always go full size.
Yeah.
Because
that's important.
I was also thinking because this like risk reward, you can play even the big stocks the same, like even Tesla. I'm just thinking about it. Like if your risk is like 0.5%, but then you have to use like a huge position size. So that's why that's why like not even if it's like a good risk reward potential, but your account is small, you can always take it.
Yeah, like you can get a good risk reward on any stock. Like me and my setup, I've tracked it a tiny bit. I know my setup works with some large caps. I'm not going to trade a large cap that moves 5 cents in like an hour. Like
even though the risk reward probably may be good, but you have to use a huge position size.
Yeah, of course. And obviously for small accounts, that's not feasible for us. So any other comments before I move on to the next one? Okay, cool. Let me move on to AERC. This was also from Thursday. This was a mistrade, actually. Let me go to, this was a mistrade because I didn't get filled. This was a first green day right here. As you can see, it ran to 117, came down to, $14 in 2 days. So obviously there was a lot of room for a first green day. As you can see, the move came in the late afternoon. Obviously I missed it here, but this came up and set its new high around $22. Set a really nice cup and handle pattern right here. Cup and handle, if you will, that's what some people call it. But for me, I didn't think of it as that. I just drew my trend line. This is how I would have traded it. I could have gotten filled on this, but the spread was too wide. And once I put my order through, it was too late. So yeah, as you can see, this would have been very, very quick. Enter right here at 1820, risk right here at the lows of 1774. So risking about 2.5%. As you can see, this is how I looked at it in the moment. I don't really know why I said that I would sell half here. Really doesn't make any sense. But usually I would wait for the weakness to sell my first piece. And as you can see, the weakness came up here in the 1950s. So ideally, if I traded this, I would have been in here. I would have entered half around 1940, 1950, set the second half right here, risking on 1855. I don't need to set it to my original risk because it's already up here. And then as you can see, it just came down a little bit. Would have sold my other half up here into this push in the 1920s. So yeah, it got really volatile really fast. The range wasn't great, but it got a lot better. I missed this trade on the fills because the spread was wide. Bryce Tui also made this exact trade and he capitalized on it, but I just didn't get filled, which is fine. And I was glad to learn about it, or learn from it. So that was also that on Thursday. Let me go on to Friday, which I did not trade, but that is completely fine. This one was all my fault. I moved my limit down 1 more cent at the last second and didn't get filled, which was stupid. I moved my limit down to 435 when I had it at 436 before, which was dumb. I don't know why. I guess I was just trying to maximize risk reward. And sometimes trying to get a better risk reward causes you not to get filled in the position at all. So this is exactly what I look for. Yeah, of course. Yeah, trying to get better risk reward and then you don't get filled. Alex, I know that has happened to you multiple times. And that's what happened to me here. So this was perfect. I got the spike right out the open, came under, set its low of the day, based up, drew my trend line, bread and butter, this one right here. As you can see, 436 would have been my entry. I would have risked right here, below this low right here. This is perfect at 425, so 2.3% risk. I would have sold my first half right here above 450. I don't have profit goals, but whole dollar, half dollars are always nice to hit. So my first exit would have been right here at 450. So that's like 1.5 R for my first half. My second half, I would have set below right here at 434. So just about break even. And then I would have sold my second half right here above 460. So all in all, this would have been a over 3 R trade, a nice single, but obviously I didn't get filled on it. And, Wednesday, or not Wednesday because I didn't trade, but Thursday and Friday, I'm seeing what's possible if my discipline is 100%, which is my goal for the month of December. And I know that if my discipline is completely, where it needs to be, and I'm following my exact setup, I know that I will be very profitable as long as I can, keep all that under control. And that's my main goal for the next month. So as you can see, this was a mistrade. It did run up to the 480s. I would have been all out right here with my second half in the 460s, but just systematic, methodical, knowing exactly what I need to see. And, I try to get better risk reward, but didn't get filled. So that's fine. Do you have anything to comment about this before I go into the last one?
Yeah. Sometimes you have to sacrifice a tiny bit of risk reward to, to ensure the trade. Because it's better to get less risk reward, but still get it.
No, yeah, you still get it.
I missed like maybe 20 trades like that.
Yeah, it all comes down to
At the moment you want like the better like 1 point below, but then when it actually plays out, you're like, then what's the difference? Like there was no difference.
Yeah, it's like, why am I being so picky over 1 cent? What's the difference between 3.5 risk reward to 3.3 risk reward? Like, come on, seriously. But in the moment, things happen, and a great lesson was learned from this. And yeah, so that was that. Let me go over to one more. This was actually a short trade, well, a paper short.
Whoa,
I can't actually short. This is exactly what I look for in a freaking broken day one. This is perfect. Let me move our faces again. As you can see, this is OMER. It's been completely getting crushed. This was going to be the day one, but as I said, it was a perfect broken day one on the first green day. Let me go in. I'm going to be using 3-minute charts. I like 3-minute charts for shorting. It's more clear for me and very systematic. As you can see, we got the spike, it came down. Some people could say, oh, why don't you short below this level? You could, but confirmation below the low a day on the broken day one is much, much better for win rate. So as you can see, this one was live. This one, I analyzed it just like I was in a real trade. As I said, it's a short trade because I can't, paper short because I can't actually short yet. So 770 was my exact entry to short. I had kind of wide risk right here at $8. So it was like a 3.94% risk. And for me, when I start shorting in the future, I'm going to be very systematic with my exits. I've back tested a little bit and looked at hundreds of charts on what will be specifically best for my exit criteria, I always find it the best that I exit, or I cover, I should say, not talking longs when I'm shorting. I should cover exactly 1 hour after my entry. Keep it simple, keep it systematic. And I found out that when I start shorting in the future, I've looked at hundreds of charts and I've annotated on hundreds of charts, and just exactly 1 hour systematic covers will be great for me. And as you can see, this one, I pretty much bottom ticked it at 680. And then I watched it live come up to 720. I was like, oh yeah, that was a great cover. And, when this was, real time, but, I was risking about 4% to make 12. So around 3-to-1 risk reward. And I just said this is a paper short, very systematic. My shorting is gonna be a lot less discretionary once I start next year. So yeah, this was a really good paper short, exactly what I look for in a broken day one. And really systematic. So
don't you think that sometimes they can be all day faders?
Yes, I do actually. I do sometimes look at if they can be an all day fader. I have said that it's 1 hour if it goes in my favor immediately, but if it consolidates, and chops around for a little bit, then it's a 2 hour. And that's normally what I say. All day faders are awesome, but I haven't really got into, shorting the pops off of death candles yet, specific VWAP bounces yet, first resistance, say this, had another resistance level right here, shorting that. For me, I've just kept it simple so far since I'm the beginning of learning shorting. I've just kept it with key cracks below key support levels and shorting the pop from there, and systematically exiting on a time frame basis. So that was that. This is all the trades I'm going to go over. So can I take this off? All right, cool. So guys, like I said, that's all I've got in terms of, my process. As I said, I've got some new parameters for the next week. And after this month, my goal is to be completely, fully disciplined, and I'll truly be able to see where I'm at in my trading and what I need to work on going forward. So we're going to get into some open discussion right now. Do you have something right on the top of your head? Because I kind of have something that I want to talk about.
You can start.
All right. So here's something I did want to talk about for our open discussion to start us off. I wanted to go back to talking about the markets because, as Alex said in his October recap, he said this earlier, I'm perfectly ready for November to start heating up and for December to come into full swing. I've come to terms with the fact in this past week that I'm preparing for the market to not heat up like at all how it used to be. I'm not going to expect it to get super, super hot, even though it's going to get a little hotter than it is now. But I'm completely, rested peacefully in the fact if it doesn't heat up, then I'm not going to be like, oh no, the market didn't heat up. I'll just be like, it's all about, expectations. Alex, what do you have to say to that? Because I know
I'll just be sad if it doesn't hit up.
Yeah.
I mean, I still had a nice month in this market, so it's like there's no market when there's literally zero things. Even though I say there's zero, there's still something. So that's still enough, still like 5 maybe great trades to analyze after each one. So 5 but I mean, still, I'll just be I'll say that you just be sad, and maybe I'll learn a little about Twisted because there's one guy I learned about it. So
yes.
that swing
I
trading,
love his swing strategy, dude. I love it. I mean,
because it's very similar to my OTC breakout strategy. Like when he enters and has the risk, like all that.
I completely agree.
It's like, I like the idea of swings. I can remember from one of my trades in September, the TLSS. I really like that when you like swing, it feels good. But you just need like a big account, I think, for that kind of trade. So I'll just use a tiny position size if I start trading like that.
Yeah, but I love that as well. I've studied the ins and outs of his swing trading strategy, and it's very simple. He does. We're talking about Christian Kulamagi. I think that's how you say his last name. It's not how it's spelled, but he's got a website and everything. But he uses moving averages for his exit criteria. I'd rather just use trend lines personally. I'm a trend line guy.
Okay.
So I wouldn't exactly like use his criteria. I would just, make my own little spin off of it and find what works for me. I love like the way of how systematically he is. He's like,
Yeah.
he waits for a listed stock to run in between 30 and 100%,
Yes.
waits for it to consolidate for a couple of days,
You see,
enters
like literally
on,
the same thing as my breakout strategy.
yeah, seriously. It literally
Yeah.
is the exact same.
But
So
he plays
enters,
the daily chart.
yeah, the daily chart. He plays the daily chart. He enters on the day that it breaks out from that consolidation. He risks below a day. He sells either a third or a half 4 to 5 days later. And then he waits until the daily closing candle closes underneath the 20-day moving average. And then he sells his full position. He had a great trade on Lucid the past few weeks as it broke out, it ran, and I saw a tweet from him or something like, wow, Lucid's so awesome, it's paying for another yacht or something. That was funny.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think
it's
he's like
exactly like your
he's
breakout
8-figure
strategy.
trader, right?
Yeah, I think he's an 8-figure
Crazy.
trader. And it's just a great, it's easy to say that, well, trading is so simple, this setup and this setup and this technical indicator and this technical indicator, but there's such a big difference between the science of technical analysis and the art of trading. I heard that in a podcast today, and I was like, wow, yeah, that's cool.
From him?
No, from it was
Okay.
a Chat with Traders podcast. Although he does have one, I still have to watch.
I listen now, yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
All
an hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, it's nice.
That'll be the next one that I watch.
And so one
or
thing
listen to,
when
I should say.
I first heard about him, I knew that the strategy is completely different. Not different. I mean, you have to learn it from scratch. And before when I was thinking about learning something, I was like, oh, so it's because I already know how much it took me to learn my strategy, and I'm like, oh, but now I feel a little more confident because I know like all the basics.
Right.
You just have to like go and just like watch a few videos, and then because I have that skill now to kind of like learn quickly.
Of course.
I think he has a 4-hour video. It's like in his website he says like if you wanna start studying my strategy, you have to watch that. So I'm gonna watch that to like 4 hours, but
oh yeah,
maybe nice.
There was like a half-hour video that he posted on.
Oh yeah,
he
I watched
pinned
that
it on
one.
his Twitter. I watched that one too.
Yeah, that's nice. And he also has like a swimming school in his YouTube. Like there was like 5 videos, half an hour and a half. I mean,
he puts so much good content out for free. It's crazy.
For free, yeah.
And awesome. And here's another thing that you were talking about, Alex, that it's so key for beginner traders to like obviously we're in our first year of trading, but like I'm talking about from scratch, don't know anything about the stock market. A lot of traders try to, become the jack of all trades, like study this, and this. As you see, Alex has his setup, and there is a big difference between, having a defined process and branching out and learning, other possible setups than trying to become the jack of all trades right away and not have one setup that is, your bread and butter that you can execute when it comes around. There's a big difference between those two. And I just wanted to add that in.
Yes, that's very important. Because I never went anywhere other than my 2 setups. But now I know because now I know like a very good, like I have a very good understanding of my setup. So now I can start like branching out a little bit.
Right. Yeah. And I just think it's cool that like, morning triggers is your main strategy. And that is not like a setup in specifically. Yes. It's an indicator for a setup. I'm the exact same way. I trade trend breaks. My trend breaks aren't a setup, but they're like an indicator. I don't know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying?
Entry indicator. Entry.
Yeah, entry indicator, but it's not like a full setup. Alex goes morning trigger, first green day, morning trigger, OTC breakout.
Yes.
Like both time frames.
Yeah, it's very important because I saw many times when stocks have this trigger, but the daily is just nowhere, and it doesn't succeed. So you have to have like the big picture too. You have to have macro and micro both together.
Yeah, of course. It definitely matters, and yeah, of course.
And also one thing I want to do, I always wanted to do it is reading books, because that's the thing. Like every time I say I want to read, but then I just stop. Mm-hmm. But so I'll start. I have this here.
Oh, look at that!
Yes, I must read this. I want to, because I always say like 10 pages a day is like a book a month, and this is not even 300 pages. So that means technically I should be able to finish this by the end of the year. So we'll see.
How many pages a day?
10.
Oh, 10? Okay, that's not
Literally
bad.
10 pages. Like it's gonna take like half an hour maybe.
Yeah, that's not bad. 10 pages a day.
300 here. Yes, 300.
Wow, yeah, that'd be a great goal to do.
Because that's also like a psychology thing, and I mean, it's not really the thing that I struggle with, but still, it's very good to learn.
Oh yeah, it's great knowledge, and it not only does it, help you with like learning the trading psychology, it also helps you get away from screens for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's important to find activities that help you get away from your screen. Since we do it, we look at a screen so damn much, and eventually it could just be like it makes your brain all foggy and cloudy. And reading is a great way to kind of as an outlet. I mean, I agree with Alex. Like, I definitely do want to read more, but every time I say I'm going to, it really doesn't happen. But it all goes down to Alex, like he's saying, 10 pages a day, 300 pages. It's going to take 30 days.
Yeah, I made that spreadsheet again.
Knock it out.
I made the spreadsheet
track
again.
your reading.
I did it so many times, but
track your reading. Yeah, I like that. I do want to say one thing really quick, and I'm going to keep it. I'm going to say something, and I'm not going to say anything more. Alex and I, this is finals coming up for like final projects, final essays, final exams for college, and then we have a month off. I am just going to say that we hate this college BS, and we can't wait to get more screen time and learn more stuff for trading, and have this month to dig into the markets in ways that we haven't been able to because of this. A lot of things that are waste of time. I don't like freaking, that's a rant for another day. But yeah, I just wanted to say that we're excited to get more market screen time and observe more stuff.
I remember in September or even summer, I was like, oh, so my winter break comes. It's gonna be December, OTC market, nothing else but trading. I mean, it's not really that excited anymore. Because I'm like, oh, so now I'll have literally nothing else to do. Because before I had some maybe college, but now there's nothing. Because the market is nothing. It's not doing anything. But I really hope it's at least something.
Right, and I can't tell you how many times we were talking about that too.
Yeah.
Like us in our group, we were talking about, oh, December, oh, this winter break, oh, we're gonna be trading the entire day.
Ooh.
We expect to be over this profit goal by this time, and just you remember that?
I was like, my risk will be like at least $50 by December, or even more.
That's why profit goals are just so like. I'm never gonna set one, to be honest, like ever.
Yeah, like you mean like not on a trade, like overall.
No, yeah, like monetary milestones in your trading. Like I just think it's.
Well, I'll just say one thing. After February, I was like, oh, I'll make 10K this year.
Right. Yeah. Like after December, I expect to make 10K.
Wait. Like, no. I said it correct. After February, February, yes. I was like, I'm gonna make 10K this year.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing, about just trading, like as it goes in the journey. November 30th was Tuesday, and that was my 1 year of studying trading. So I've been, that was when I started studying trading, like every day, and started really getting into it. I didn't actually start live trading until June. I started studying trading November 30th. I had a 1 year ago memory come up in my Snapchat memories of me walking outside with my food from a to-go box, and I was explaining what I was doing for the night. I said, I've got my food. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go watch a market mastery webinar. This is what I said, like on my first day. I said, I'm going to go watch this market mastery webinar. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get some knowledge. I'm going to make some money later. And I said, I'm going to make some money later, and we'll go from there. This was freaking November 30th of last year. And fast forward to November 30th of this year, my account is at fresh lows. So that, I mean, a lot of people start off trading like that. Like they just say like, oh, I'm going to make money immediately. Yeah. And then I realized, like I literally made like 3 or 4 super random trades, like 2 days in, thinking that I knew what I was doing. And then I was like, okay, I got to study for a few months. And then I proceeded not to trade for like 4 months. So it's crazy how you have to change your expectations about nearly everything because trading's so counterintuitive. But yeah,
Yes.
just wanted to add that. Thought it
I
was
also
funny.
like when I started, I also thought I would be making something at least after a year. But I mean, I think in the beginning I thought so, but then like when I started actually like studying, I was like, okay, now it's gonna take way more.
Definitely.
But then when it actually starts working, now I'm gonna make way more than I think I will.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. That's the one thing about trading. And I know we've heard this quote so many times. It's the easiest hard money that you're ever going to make, or hardest
No.
easy money
Oh
that
yeah,
you're ever
no,
going to
it's
make.
a trading is the easiest way to make.
Hardest way to make easy money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trading is the hardest way to make easy money.
Eventually. It's
Yes.
the learning curve,
And
after,
then
a year or two.
and then everyone's like, oh, you're not doing anything, you're making money. Oh, you're like,
Like, people don't understand, man. Like, you started trading a month ago. Are you rich yet? Like,
oh,
yeah,
look who came out of the trading room. Are you rich?
yeah, that was freaking hilarious.
And then I was
I
like,
mean, and it's
no,
hard at
not
this time
yet.
of year. It's hard this time of year as well. Like when, Thanksgiving, Christmas season, we see a lot of family and, you tell them what you do. You say, like I trade stocks and they'll be like, oh, are you rich? Like,
Yeah,
and
that's yeah, but I know you don't say it to anyone that,
dude,
right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
No.
I tell like very few people, like very few people that I like talk to every day. I mean, except you, obviously. I mean, like in real life. And sometimes, obviously, I remember you also said that when sometimes my mom, like my other relatives, talk to my mom, and since I
Yeah.
graduated from high school, they're like, "Oh, well, what is gonna do now?" And then she's like, "I don't know." And then she asked me, and I'm like, you like you won't understand, so there's no reason for me to say."
That's exactly what I say to my parents. And it's literally word for word. I just say, you don't understand.
Yeah, like you don't because
There's no other way to put it,
yeah,
honestly.
there's no way I can explain it in less than 10 hours.
Yeah, and then you try to tell someone about like risk management, and they just say, "Oh, it's gambling."
Yes.
I hate that, dude. That makes like me so angry, and I try to hold myself back, and I'm just like, "Yeah, you don't get it."
Yeah, I mean, it's just different than anything else. So
Definitely, and that's why we love it so much. Honestly,
yes,
we love it because it is different, and we've become accustomed to it too. So that's about all I got. You have anything
that
else,
was
Alex,
a
that's on your
huge,
mind?
that was a huge video. Beautiful.
Beautiful. I think that was a great way to end it. We got into a lot of good, passionate conversation there, just things that were, coming up on top of our mind and all of that. So I'm gonna do the outro now. So thank you guys for watching this episode. We hope it helped you guys out as much as it helped us. It really helps us to, come on here and, talk to each other, vent out to the channel, and just kind of like speak on our process and all that stuff. So it definitely helps us there. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you like what we're doing, hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And yeah, Alex is gonna add something in 1 second, but yeah.
December should be like because we're gonna do. I think we can do a December and yearly together the video.
Oh yeah, definitely be looking for that too.
Hopefully,
at the
we
end of
have
the
more
month.
people.
Hopefully, we can get all of us on here. Maybe.
Yeah, if we have like at least 4 people, it's gonna be like 2 hours maybe. I don't know.
Hey, I mean, it'll be a yearly,
It'll be a huge video, yeah.
But yeah, just keep looking for the content that comes out. We're going to be posting every week here. We're excited. And so yeah, with all that being said, have a good start to the month. Trade well, trade safe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. So peace out.